Hello, everybody. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. As I get my gentleman Jack Daniels, in hand. To my right is Lucas. You know who he is. Lucas, how are you doing?
I am well. Everything's good. Nothing to complain about over here.
Yeah. Well, I've had some shit luck over the last 24 hours, but I ain't gonna go into that. I'm 2 bags out of pocket. That is what it is. Lucas, Jarrod Bowen, the boy is going to the Euros. What is your thoughts on that, mate?
Very pleased for him. Well deserved, in my opinion. Um, I don't think it should have been as close of a call as it was made out to be. But in the end, I'm really happy for him. It's just again, I'm no England fan, but because of supporting West Ham and watching the Premier League all the time, invested. I wouldn't say is the word, but I do like looking at the dynamics of the England squad. I do like having my
Yeah.
opinion. I do like critiquing it. I do like having my say. But in the end, I really could care less what England does. But I'm pleased for Bowen nonetheless. I will be watching England mostly for Jarrod Bowen. So
I'm going to be honest. Yeah, he get a lot of heat from what I've seen. Yeah, over the last sort of like couple of hours, you float on Twitter, not really so much on Twitter X, so to speak, but fucking on TikTok, mate. He's getting fucking blitzed. And you had some geezer from Wolves like digging him out saying, how is he in the England side? And I'm thinking, why don't you fuck off, mate? How about that? For starters, like this geezer's been absolutely superb
the
for
only
us.
person who should be getting heat is Konsa for robbing our man of a goal blatantly.
Yeah,
And let me tell you, I think this might be how many caps does he have for England, Jarrod Bowen now?
4 or 5, I think. Yeah,
I
not a lot.
there's been at least 2 or 3 matches of those that I think he's played with Konsa, and every time he plays with Konsa, I swear, Jarrod Bowen just does not receive the ball from him. Konsa
Yeah.
will not give that man the ball. And I watched a little bit of the match the other day, and I thought Jarrod Bowen he did what he could do because again, like I said, Konsa just would not pass this man the ball. But
Yeah, but that concept kept going down the line and checking his run every 5 seconds. Like instead of just giving it to Bowen, and like Bowen needs an overlapping.
and loves a goal line clearance as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I know, mate. I know.
What a prick.
I will get to that in a minute, Rob. I will get to that in a minute. Yeah, listen, for me, Jarrod deserves to go, mate. He's been absolutely superb. He's a goal scorer. He can play multiple positions. It's going to be interesting to see how he copes over there. Yeah, but nothing would surprise me. I'm going to say this right now. Nothing would fucking surprise me if this geezer goes and scores the winner in the final. Like, he's like, it just wouldn't surprise me. 1 year on from Prague that we will talk about in a
Yeah,
minute.
it is.
And
It is interesting for England that right wing position because I think in terms of the depth's really good, and I think all three players that are, I guess, thrown into that position, all very close to each other in my opinion. But if I was an England supporter, I'd be excited because all three offer something different than one another. If you have to set up different, you've got three different guys that could almost fit any single tactic you're looking for.
yeah,
So,
no, I hear you, mate. I hear you. Who do you fancy for the Euros, Lucas, from a betting aspect? Like,
um,
what you
I
saying?
actually funny enough you asked me that. I put money on something yesterday. I put
Right,
money on France 4-1. I thought that was just really good. England
right.
was 3-1, and
Mm,
I put that on before I heard all the Harry Maguire news,
yeah,
Madison, Curtis Jones, like all the injury news, and I'm feeling quite confident now with that bet.
I think they're a
And
great bet, France. If I'm being honest.
they're safe. Like even if they don't pull it off, I think it's still value for money. Like they're gonna get to at least, in my opinion, the semis at
Yeah,
least. And
yeah,
it
I
really
agree with
depends
it.
on who they play. In England, being 3-1, I think the I think the bookies just like having a laugh to see how much money
Uh,
they can get people to throw on England.
yeah, do you know what? Like, I see that, and I'm with you. Like, I look at France and I think like whoever beats France wins it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and with England today, when I see that team come out and there's no Maguire, like they got no real centre half. If John Stone goes down, we are
The
fucked.
back line is I was discussing it with some mates today. That back line is going to be a piece of work, and the setup you can almost have your own ideal setup And no one, in my opinion, can really criticize it, because with that back line, there's just so much to think about. Like,
Hmm.
I'm sure Trent is going to be moved into the midfield from what I've seen from Southgate, because Kyle Walker's 1,000% playing. So, and Trent's, in my opinion, 1,000% going to play. So I think we'll see him along Rice, but Rice is going to have to carry that midfield a bit. Or you could see Mainu, you could see Wharton with Rice, because they have to be a bit more solid in the midfield to hold up the defense behind them. And that second center half spot is an absolute just needle in the haystack. Like, you just don't know who it's going to be. Like, it could be literally anyone. And
That is the reason, mate, why I've always said that I don't think England can handle. I think England going forward, front six, very good, extremely good. But the back four for me isn't good enough
there's just too many question marks.
Yeah.
And if Luke Shaw doesn't end up playing because he's not fit, there's going to be a gargantuan problem.
Yeah.
Because you might see a back line of Walker, Stones. Someone asked, or I put in my preferred lineup today, and I put Joe Gomez at left center half. And then if Shaw's fit, you play Shaw at left back. But if he's not fit, you could see Walker, Stones, Dunk, Gomez, or Trippier, depending on who you're playing. Because if you got to go more defensive, you might as well play Joe Gomez, because I think he's decent. But as an outside point of view, the lineup that I put that I think would be best for England, I put Pickford in goal, Walker right back, Stones center half, Gomez center half, Shaw, if he's fit and plays, left back. Then I had a midfield three of Rice, Mainu, and Bellingham, and then Foden, Kane, Saka.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I think he's, from the way it looks, Southgate's going for it, mate. He's going all out attack, and he ain't worried about the fucking defence. But that's the problem with England, and it always has been for years. Is our defence isn't that good. Do you know what I mean? We are susceptible from like certain situations. And Lewis Dunk, how the fuck is he in there? I don't know.
He had a decent season last year, but there's how Jarrod Braithwaite hasn't made it is beyond me. And even Tarkowski, honestly, they both deserved a bit more of a shout, in my opinion, because 13 clean sheets playing for Everton this season, that's borderline monumental, in my opinion, because they weren't that great this season, but defensively very solid.
I think Braithwaite would have been a great choice.
If he was on the plane, he would have been starting for me personally.
See, I agree with what Mark says there. I hope Southgate lets the side attack and doesn't go defensive. I don't think he's got any choice now, because he's one of our fucking defenders.
That's why I think he's going to be putting Trent in the midfield. Even though, like I said, I saw a bit of the match the other day, and Trent just doesn't look fluid or like right in the midfield. He kind of, for me, he kind of already plays the type of way that Rice plays without the defensive abilities. Like, he's like he likes to quarterback the midfield, kind of like Scholes, but he just doesn't move well enough in the midfield for me. But again, he scored a great goal yesterday, which I commend him for. But so, like, in the final third, I think Trent will be lovely to see, because again, the more attackers, the better. But I worry for you guys in transition a bit, because I already don't really rate him that highly defensively at right back. So it is what it is. If you're going to go out, I guess go out attacking. I guess that's what Southgate's thinking. But again, I think they have enough to go all the way, but it's going to be tough with certain question marks.
Yeah, I agree with you on this. I really do. I said to the boys yesterday when I did a video with England. For me, that can they handle a world-class attack? Now, if you're up against France and you've got to deal with Mbappe, can they handle it?
No shot.
Not for me. I just don't think
even your strongest defense, it's gonna be tough. We all know Kyle Walker can do a job on Mbappe like he did before, but it's tough. And John Stones really isn't that type of. He's not a Harry Maguire. Like, Harry Maguire will get stuck in. He'll defend till he bleeds. And John Stone's, not saying that he won't defend till he bleeds, but that's not really him.
Yeah, I think we're asking a lot for this geezer to stay fit for the whole competition. Do you know what I mean? Because if he goes down, then we're going to have Dunk and Concert at the back, and that's going to be strange to say the least. One player I will say, is it Walton?
Yeah.
Adam Walton? What a player he is, mate. Like Blackburn, went down to sort of Palace now. And
Credit to Palace in general. 4 players in the Euro squad. That is that is very impressive. As someone I don't rate Palace. I don't like them very much, obviously. It's impressive. And that is something as someone or as us who support a club outside the Pig Six, it is, I wouldn't say it is a bit of a breath of fresh air. It's nice to see that players are, especially this time around, Southgate, I think he's almost nailed it. I think he's nailed the selection, but the structure is a bit questionable, if that makes sense. But again, Eze deserves it. Wharton, you need someone to back up Rice if the worst happens. So I don't blame that. Guay, he's solid. And Dean Henderson, to me, it should have been Trafford. But again, you have 3 solid goalkeepers. So
I think if you get Eze on the pitch, I think he can do some damage.
Very good the other night. Very good.
Let's be honest. When we had a choice of him or Ben Rama, don't get me wrong, I backed Ben Rama for a long time, but fuck me, Eze was a talented player.
He was the one.
Before we move on, where do you see Bowen fitting in this sort of Euros for you, Lucas? Because he ain't going to start, but
I think again, this could sound crazy, but I'm just like predicting. Like if you were to play someone like France, who you know you're going to be on the back foot, you're going to be counterattacking. To me, that is a Bowen match written all over it. Brilliant, because he's going to run his socks off, he's going to bleed for the country, and he's got the quality. He's got just as much quality as Saka and Palmer, in my opinion. But again, that right wing position, so tough because the quality there is ridiculous. Like Saka, great player. Palmer, great player. Bowen's a great player, but they all suit a different type of need. Like Saka, I would say, is just like your new age type of winger. Then you got Cole Palmer, who's a bit of a free roamer who dives in and out of the wing, can create. And then Bowen is just like your old school. He's just going to run his socks off. He's going to try and get in behind. Very direct, not flashy, but he gets the job done. And he normally always makes the correct pass.
Take your West Ham hat off for 1 second. If you got Saka or Bowen, who's the better finisher for you? Because I think Bowen's the better finisher than Saka, if I'm honest.
It's close because it is really close. I think Bowen has a bigger portfolio of finishes, but Saka, that his little finesse shot low to the bottom corner, how he just wraps it around so consistently is very good. But Bowen has more finishes in his locker, in my opinion, more types of finishes. But again, Saka's good. He's really good, and it's a tough call for Southgate. I think Saka's one of his guys, so he's gonna probably 1,000% start him.
Steve says Bowen is well the better finisher than Saka. Yeah, listen, for me, I think what it is with Bowen, what you said is bang on. Like in a counter-attacking team, if West Ham, if England are up against it, then he can get out. Do you know what I mean? And he's good in that sort of role, isn't he? He's played that role for us for years. So, you know. Before we move on, how many does he score at the Euros for you? Yes or no? I think he does. I've got a feeling.
Oh, that's a great question because your group is a bit of a cakewalk. So I could see possibly him getting a full 90 in the very last match if you win 2. This is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say no, just because I think there's too much in front of him, and I think he's a bit of a last ditch resort. He's a bit of a mayday option. Like if something goes bad, he's there. Kind of the same with Tony made the squad, right?
Yeah.
same with Tony a bit. Like, even though I rate Tony, and I would play him ahead of Ollie Watkins because I think he's most similar to Kane and does the things that Harry Kane does. I'm afraid that those two, they might just be surplus to requirements, and they're there in case of a huge emergency. But I would love to see Bowen score. I don't think he's gonna get ahead of Palmer, Saka, and I can't see him really filling in at striker if something were to pop up. If he were to score, it's gonna be the last match of the group stages, I think.
I think he does score, mate.
If there's a bet on it, I would love to know the odds.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to find for ages. Like, I've been having a shit fucking 24 hours of bets, you know what I mean? But if I can find a bet on that, then I will do. Him to score any time in the competition would be interesting to see. I think he does score, though. I think he's due a goal. I think the way he's playing, he's in and around the box. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to say quarter-final, mate. I think he scores in the quarters. Clip that up and tell you that now. I think he comes on and he scores. So
I would love nothing more.
But, Lucas,
unless it's against Croatia, of course.
From Bowen in England to Bowen last year, yeah, it's going to be a year tomorrow, or in approximately 42 minutes' time. 1 year on from Prague. How mad has that year been, man? Because it has been the most happiest, toxic, full of shit, everything. God,
we've been through it all. We've been through the ringer with this whole thing, and it's, as always, we talk about it quite a bit, but it's always nice to reflect and think about what we went through and how we got there, and how privileged certain people were to go to the match, let alone the country, like I was. And I'll never take that moment for granted. I'm very lucky I was able to do that. And it's just mad. Again, like, even as someone who hasn't been supporting West Ham as long as you and many others, like, even when I started supporting back in like the start of 2015, like I knew what I was getting myself into, and I just wouldn't have ever imagined that happening. Like, some people obviously lucky enough to witness some sort of success depending on when they were born, but I would say probably 80% of everyone right now that supports this club, we didn't see anything.
No.
And
I never saw it coming, Lucas. If you want me to be honest, I never saw West Ham winning something. I was pretty adamant on it, really, that under Sullivan's reign, that West Ham won't win buckle.
Yeah.
And that shut me right up on that. But last year it was magical, wasn't it? Let's be honest. Like,
and it's changed everything. Like, and you'll be able to attest to this. Like, West Ham, it's never been about winning trophies. It's never been about European status, European success. It's always just been about
staying up,
letting all the other clubs know what they're about to come up against, and we just give every single match a go, and we'd have a consistent 12th man. When West Ham are coming into town, you know what to expect. When you're going to Upton Park, you know what you're in for. You're in for a long night and a long day if you're hosting us. But now, after that, it's so crazy to think about, like, while talking. But now the standards have changed, in my opinion, and some people, most people, I would say all, we have a right to dream a bit now and crave more success or crave some more European moments. Because I'll tell you what, after this season, being able to go to Germany twice and just even going over for the Europa League matches at home, like, I don't want those to end. I'm going to miss them incredibly next season. Like, I would plan my trip around the European nights, and now I'm not going to have that. I mean, I'm still coming over. I'm going to do it, but now it's just a bit different. Like, I'm still going to be excited to see the boys, home or away, whatever I can get, but it just doesn't beat those European nights being with 10 1,000 plus, 20,000 plus hammers in Germany, Prague, wherever may have you. Like even Cyprus. I wanted to do Cyprus in Zagreb so bad, but I couldn't. But it just that trophy means everything, and it should never be discredited. It should never be disgraced. Like that trophy is everything to us, and that gave so many supporters a right to dream, think bigger, even if it is unrealistic sometimes what people are saying and what they wish for. But that trophy, that's what it's done. It's propelled us upwards. It's given us a new standard, and I think we have the right to do whatever we can as a support to maintain that standard and not go backwards. Because I'm not saying we deserve to be in Europe every single season, but we deserve to have that aspiration to fight for that.
The standard, mate. The standard's been set, and now, like, we've got to hold that standard. You know what I'm saying? Like what you just said there, I'll just let you sort of go on, because what you're saying is just straight facts, like proper facts and no fucking fiction. One thing I will say is I will never, ever, while there's a breath in my fucking body and a heart in my fucking body, I will never discredit that trophy ever, because I've seen the shit. I've seen us go down. When people say, "Oh, it's a fucking third tier trophy," right? Fucking go and support fucking Orient or something. Do you know what I mean? Because we ain't a trophy fucking winning side. Do you know what I mean? It's the first trophy that we've won in 43 fucking years. Yeah. And for me, that meant the world to me. The 7th of June last year was a powerful moment. I've never seen everyone come together. I've never seen a feeling of being so emotional but so proud at the same time. Like I was in the boozer that day. I'm going to release something probably tonight or early in the morning on Twitter. I was fucking in bits, mate. Like, because when you've seen the shit, Lucas, over the years, and you have, like, when you've been up and down the land, you've seen the players coming in who are fucking pony, yeah, and you've seen all this crap. Like, why the fuck am I going to sit there and start knocking a trophy that we've won because of a manager that someone don't like? Do you know what I mean? The thing is, a lot of people used to discredit the trophy to try and get at the manager. And I always used to say this. I always used to have this argument all the time and say, take the manager hatred out of it. The trophy is still a good thing for West Ham United Football Club, because we wouldn't get Kudus, we wouldn't get Paqueta, we wouldn't get any of these other fucking players.
And it's just everything in general as well. Like, people have fought over discrediting the trophy because of the manager. People have fought over the trophy in general, and this year proves just because you're a Premier League side doesn't mean you can win it.
Yeah,
doesn't mean you can go perfect. Just because you're a big club doesn't mean you can piss the whole thing or win it. And it was evident with what happened. Fiorentina, they were perfect until the final, and they lost. Aston Villa lost. Like what we did was special, and I'm not saying that what we did we're gonna hold that for forever, because I'm sure there will be another big club like Chelsea. Chelsea, in my opinion, probably could do what we did, but to say that any old club can do it, people thought Aston Villa were going to piss it, and they didn't. They lost to Olympiacos.
And I think what it is, what you just said, this spot on. I think what it is, where the collide was last year, people were saying about the trophy and Moyes and everything else. Yeah, but there's people like myself, a few others who will turn and say, "Hold on a minute, fucking leave the trophy out of it, for fuck's sake," because if you can't appreciate winning that, then you can't appreciate winning like
exactly.
Cup,
and it's just it's ridiculous. And like Mark is put in the chat, people praise Unai Emery to the brink, to the hill, and if that competition was so easy, why couldn't he do it?
It's the team who won it. It's the team who won it.
And credit to Olympiacos as well. The whole entire point of that tournament, that competition, is exactly what happened. I was buzzing for Olympiacos to win that, and I mean I wasn't hate watching Fiorentina. I didn't really wish for them to win or lose, but if they would have won, it still would have been okay. But Fiorentina, they're a big club. They're a big Italian club. But for Olympiacos to be the first Greek club to win a European trophy, and they won it in their rivals' ground as well, which is hilarious. Like that's special, and that's exactly what this competition was put in for. And long may that competition continue. I don't know if I want to see like a 4th or 5th European competition, but like it gives opportunities to clubs like West Ham, Olympiacos, the chance to dream, for the Spurs to go on an away day with everyone like-minded. And if you haven't been on an away day with everyone who's like-minded, supports the same club, it is absolutely special and nothing I will ever take for granted. Even if everyone's opinions are different and you don't get along or share those same opinions, the only thing that matters is that we're all West Ham. And that energy, that vibe, that aura, just, it's unmatched.
The thing is, what you just said there is that when people say, "Oh, the West Ham family" and all that, you got people who are out there trying to dig out other people for having an opinion that they don't like. Do you know what I'm saying? For me, as I said before, like I fucking cried my soul out that night, and when I've got people just sitting there sort of discrediting it, I think to myself, really, like, is that the way we've gone now? Like, are we some sort of like trophy winning fucking club all of a sudden? Like, we haven't won nothing for years. So you know what? I'm glad that it's coming like 1 year on and everything else. Obviously, it's been a very toxic year, like in the West Ham community. Like talking about West Ham, and you say something about Steidten, and you get criticised for that. It is a lot of. I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of fucking people on social media and in the YouTube game who do act like fucking tarts at times. I'm not going to lie, but it is what it is. But Lucas. Angelo Ogbonna.
Oh, God.
Do you know what? I watched these videos, mate. I had a tear in my soul, mate, there. Like, really did. Yeah. What you saying about Big Ange, man? Or Uncle Ange.
The Big Ange. The OG.
Yeah.
Big
OG,
Ange. Yeah. I don't want to hear none of this Postecoglou crap. Big Ange. He's not OG Big Ange, but oh, wow. We knew it was most likely going to happen, but I wasn't expecting to wake up at like 6 a.m. and see that. But it's so sad. Again, he in the current moment, he was the 3rd player remaining from the Upton Park era, and now we only have 2 left with Antonio and Cresswell, and it's just sad to see that type of player go. Like, we all know the ability has gone, but the IQ, his head was still there as well. But such a great man, such a great guy. And again, and you would know, it is so hard for people to understand West Ham who are not from the UK or support the club. So when a player comes from Italy, and mind you, this guy starts at Torino, ends up at Juventus, wins the league, and then is like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go to West Ham. Like, what?
I know.
Like when he came in, it's just kind of like, what? Like, are you sure? Do you know what you're doing? And for him to do that, and then he basically becomes a legend in my eyes. You could call him a cult hero or whatever, but he's a legend in my eyes, and someone that, again, it just means something a bit different when someone who's not English who comes from outside and just he is as Mourinho said, the kit is his skin. Yeah. And I truly believe that. What a man, the Italian Cockney. I mean,
I'm gonna be honest, Lucas, yeah. When he arrived in 2015, the 10th of July, I've done a video the other day, so I remember it all up there. I didn't think much of him. I'm being honest. He got me in. I thought, all right, he'll be here a couple of years. We'll see how he gets on. It is what it is. But one thing I said on the video the other day that I'm going to say now is that Harry embraced the club. Yeah, look, like he took the whole club to his heart. Do you know what I mean? And he's a very humble geezer. Like every time West Ham have been down in the dumps, looking like looking like going down, he's never threw his toys out the pram. He's never wanted to leave.
The biggest thing, he's never given up on the club.
Never, not once. Even when like we were fucking shit in 2018, and we were destined to go down to a point. And he was always there and just giving it everything for the shirt. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I will say. Like anyone who gives it everything for the shirt, whether you're a fan from another country like yourself or a player from another country, you come in and you embrace the claret and blue, right? You become an adopted fucking son.
And one thing we can all agree on is we still work on such old school ethics. Like,
Yeah.
we care about your quality? We do. But at the end of the day, if you have a strong mentality, you don't give up. You don't give up on the club. You keep fighting. That's really all we ask for. Like, I always reference Craig Bellamy in that podcast where he's like, you can't get one over on West Ham supporters. Like, they're too smart, and all they ask for is you just keep having a go. Even if you've gotten the ball nicked off you 3-4 times in a row, keep going at your guy, because once you do, that's when you're going to start getting pelters. And I think he's bang on. But for Ogbonna, for me, and Harry put it in here as well, that 2021 season before he got injured.
Yeah,
mate, when he went down with that ACL, that was so gutting. That was so gutting because that wasn't. I don't think that was the season. But when him and Kurt Zouma were partnered,
was that Manchester United away? Was it? I remember the one in COVID.
No, it might have been Liverpool. I can't remember what year it was, but
there was one with Liverpool. But I remember one where he done something at Old Trafford, and he was down, and then we was thinking, oh, we're fucked now.
He might have had 2 injuries, but the one that season where him and Kurt Zouma were playing together, and he done his ACL, that hurt because him and Kurt Zouma were actually running riot as a duo. They were unstoppable in my eyes. But just overall, like it's so sad because you want players like that to just last forever. Like if time were a thing, Mark Noble, Ogbonna, Kevin Nolan, the likes of them, like Julian Dix, we wish they would just stay forever. They play forever until we're gone.
But I think what it is though with him though, Lucas, he's such a nice, polite, not got an ego. He fills the club like you see the interviews he's done. You see some of the funny stuff he's done when someone said to him about like, is he Italian or something? And or he said, no, I'm Japanese.
I'm Japanese.
Yeah, I'm Japanese. So he's got a good sense of humour about him. Like, this is a geezer who come to the club who, let's be honest, he come for 11 million euros, which is about £8.5 million. Yeah. And I still remember it now. It was under the Billy Gerrard final season at Upton Park. And, you know, how he's turned out, it's been really, really good. And that man deserved the trophy. Like, it's just the only one thing that is wrong with the trophy win with West Ham is Noble didn't get to be a player when we won it. Yeah, I mean, because I think that would have been like the crown topper. You know what I mean? The only fear I do have, this is just me saying this, is that we're losing a lot of the old guard, which I understand it because they're not good enough anymore.
Yeah.
But who are the new guard? Who's going to be here for a long time? Because I don't see many players who, like maybe Bowen to a point, but that's about it.
It seems from some reports, it seems like Bowen might be really the only one at a good age, because I've seen something today that Lopetegui doesn't rate Ward-Prowse, so he could be gone. Souček, people, supporters, and even sometimes it seems like the manager I wouldn't say trying to get rid of him, but like Epic put some in here about when we were talking about Ogbonna that Lucas, everyone says that, but people still shit on Souček. I get that, and I would like to mention Souček and Soufal in that, but they could also be gone in the near future at like this summer. Who knows? Next summer, who knows? So Jarrod Bowen really is the only one that's locked down for a while, and he's gonna have to be the guy to establish some sort of standard in the dressing room and pass things down that he's learned from some of the old guard. And it's tough when you're thinking about those sort of aesthetics and stuff. But yeah, overall with Ogbonna, incredibly sad. I love him so much. I'm going to be getting his kit before the summer's over, that summer sale, because I need to get the white kit with the Europa League patch on it with the conference winners thing around it, and I'm getting Ogbonna on it. And I love the man. I wish him nothing but the best, and I pray he somehow comes back to West Ham, kind of like a Harewood or a Walker, and is like an ambassador of some sort. Like if I go to the Bowen Lounge or the London Lounge and I see Uncle Ange giving pre-match speeches, I am gonna love it. I'm gonna cry.
You're gonna be right up the front row with your fucking program saying, "Sign that, Ange." Do you know what I mean? Sign it up. Yeah, listen, I agree. I agree. He's been superb. Do you know what I'm saying? That the thing for me with him as a player, like he's always been like consistent to a point. He's had bad games, even last season. Look at the Arsenal game. Yeah. I'll never forget it. I was like bookmarking everyone on fucking Twitter, going right when they started slagging him off, and I said, "You watch him."
And those are the moments that, like, even through all the shit that happens, like 2-0 away at Arsenal, when Ogbonna him and Mavropanos put in an absolute masterclass.
Yeah,
like those are memories for a lifetime for us. Like we'll remember that. It might not mean anything to Arsenal. Well, it might be because they bottled the league to us, I think 2 times in the last 3 or 4 years now. But those are moments that I'm going to remember forever.
I've got a question for you before we move on to the final sort of topics of conversation. If you was to go into the bowling lounge or wherever you went, and Angelo Ogbonna's there giving a speech, and he's like your sort of mentor sort of thing, the person who's there for the day.
Yeah.
What would be your first question that you'd ask him?
Oh my God.
Or what would you say to him, Lucas? I'd say you're definitely not Japanese.
I would ask him, "Are you Italian? Are you sure you're Italian?"
He goes, "No."
I just give him a big hug, maybe kiss on the cheek or something. I don't know. I love that man, and I'll back him to the hell.
Yeah, I know, mate. He was superb. Oggy, it took me a while, but you did come good for me and West Ham. Gracias, Oggy. I agree with Steve Irons, 80 there, 100%. Like for me, at the start, it was like that, ropey, but then he's just always reliable, mate. Do you know what I mean? And when you look at the defensive partners that he's had over the years, Collins, he had Reed,
Tompkins, Diop,
fucking Balbuena,
Zuma,
Dawson, Craig Dawson.
Mavropanos.
Imagine that combination, Craig Dawson and Ogbonna at the back.
Mate, when I seen the West Ham video they put up today of our best headed goals, when I saw him and Tompkins, I was just like, oh my goodness gracious.
Comment of the night from Harry there. Does that mean Brighton away? He played that game, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's superb. So.
I'm telling you, that ACL injury is the biggest shame of his career, because I feel like if he never got that, who knows what would be right now. I
think if he don't get that, because I remember he did get injured in COVID. I remember it, yeah. And if he doesn't get that injury, I think we would have got Champions League. He was superb in that season. That 2021 season, if I've got that right, he was fucking immense. I mean, he was proper, like really, really good. He was fast. He was extremely good. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be a shame to sort of see him go. But Lucas, anything on the transfer front, Lucas? Do you know what I mean? Because
not for me. I've been a real busy man. I've been going gym. I've been working loads, so I've only seen some of the basic stuff. But I don't know. Whatever's going on, whatever the plan is, I hope everything turns out the way it's supposed to, because I don't know. It's not really my cup of tea what the strategy is right now. But like I say to you, I say to everyone, I don't put my personal preferences over West Ham. Whatever they think is right, I'll support it. But I don't know what's going on. It's just not my cup of tea. But I hope everything turns out for the best.
For me, I'm going to be honest. It looks like we've got an invasion of fucking Brazilians coming. So let's hope they've all got they've checked their betting accounts before anything. You know what I'm saying? Got linked to a geezer in, is it Lufakoret? Or whatever he is in Bulgaria. Yeah, there's him. There's a geezer in Braga who's getting mentioned quite a lot. Simon Banza. There's so many players that we're being mentioned with. Obviously, it's the transfer season, isn't it? So everyone's going to be mentioned.
Yeah.
But Lewis Guilherme, right? It's on, it's off, it's on. It looks like it's fucking finally on. What are you saying about him? Like, what are you saying?
It's a weird one for me because, again, I don't know anything about this guy. The only thing I know is that apparently he's a right winger, but apparently he's not. Apparently he can play right wing, striker, left wing, attacking mid. I don't know what his primary position is, but from what I've seen, he plays on the right. I don't know if that's his preference, but from face value, from the surface, it's kind of like we have Bowen, we have Kudus. Why do we need a third right winger? And then you have all these other things coming into play, like, oh, he could be Kudus's replacement. He could be Paqueta's replacement. We have a new vision or whatever. But I don't know. For me, and again, like I said, I don't put my personal preference over the club, but in my opinion, spending almost £30 million on an 18-year-old Brazilian who he's going to have to get adapted to a whole new country, a whole new way of life. And if he doesn't play and we spent £30 million on him, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Right now, I don't see the vision, and hopefully the vision comes clear to me. If he does come.
All I see at the minute is a load of names thrown in the fucking hat and seeing who can get pulled out.
And one last thing as well is we still have so many glaring needs, or I wouldn't say so many. We have about 3 glaring needs in our strongest 11.
What would you say the 3 are then?
I would say a left winger, a striker, and a center half. Because if you told me Soufal would be our starting right back for one more year, I do think he could get the job done. I really do. So that to me is not a glaring need. I would like depth there, though. I would like competition. I would always love competition in all positions. But to me, spending £30 million on someone who, or whatever it is, not really £30 million. Yeah, I get that. Southeast Hammer. But like on a at best possibly first person off the bench, I don't know. I feel like you could find better value there. But again, he's highly regarded. He's part of that Palermo 3 with Endrick and the other guy that's going to Chelsea. So he's highly rated. We could be onto something, but in terms of improving the starting 11 right now and adding depth, not really for me, but I hope he turns out great. I hope he does. But again, I don't know much of him. I need to watch some film. I need to watch some highlights, some lowlights when I'm free and not working, and I'll have a better opinion on him.
I think I rate the ambition. I rate that. Yeah, because it's about time we started going for young up-and-coming players. The only issue I have, it seems like we got an influx of fucking Brazilians coming to West Ham. And I'll tell you what, that Brazilian restaurant, and I said it on Twitter the other day, at Romford will be fucking packed, trust me, because they'll be fucking all down there having like steak and shit. I'm going to be real, yeah. I agree. The 3 positions that you've said are key, yeah. Also, I think covering DM is a bit of a problem, and also because if Alvarez goes down, we are fucked in that position.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with you on the right back situation with Soufal, but people said about Ben Johnson's going to sign a contract, mate. Ben Johnson's got a fucking church service this coming Sunday.
That's another thing as well, where like I'm not mad or upset or disappointed that Ben Johnson's coming back. I like Ben Johnson. I think he's someone good to have around the club, but I just don't think he's good enough. I really don't. And I think this summer so far, again, and the window hasn't even opened yet. So there could be loads of more offers, loads of more opportunities for him. But from what we know so far, there's a reason why he's not getting either the money he's looking for or certain clubs. It's because he's not that good. Like I've told you before, he's a jack of all trades, expert of none. And
I've said it for years, yeah. And people look at this and think I talk shit. Yeah, I've said it for the last 2 years. He thinks he's better than what he actually is. This Sunday, if you're around the Dagenham area, Kingsley Hall, he's doing a church service there. So go down and check him out there, because that's where he's going to be Sunday at 11 a.m. Now, for me, Ben's a lovely lad. Yeah, I know people who sort of know him. Yeah, mutual friends, etc. But he hasn't, like, he's been fucking about with a contract for the last couple of years.
And for me, it's just, and I'm not saying that he's not good enough to be at West Ham. I don't think he's good enough to be a starting right back for a club that's in our position, if that makes sense. Like, I think he's a great squad player if we're in like the Conference League or Europa League. He can definitely get the job done there. And if he kind of like Ryan Fredericks, when he's called upon and we really need him, I think he can do a job, because I think he's an excellent one-on-one defender. But to me, that's really it. That's really it. And like I said, jack of all trades, expert of none. I've been on record saying I think his best position is a third center half in a back five or a back three. So that tells you something about my opinion. But again, I would like to see. I don't know. Like I said, I wouldn't mind if he's back. I really wouldn't care too much if he left. But as Charlie said, I do think losing him could be potential horrendous business, because we do need the homegrown quota. He isn't that bad of a player, but I just don't think he's as good as what other people think.
Yeah, I think people do overhype it. I see a comment there from South East Hammer. Shout out to him tonight on this fine evening. When John O had a run of games during the 21-22 season, he was unbelievable. That's the problem. He's not consistent enough for me. He has a handful of games where he's decent. Then after that, you don't ever see him.
And I agree with this as well. Finding a replacement for him, especially if he is English, is going to be more expensive. But again, it depends on what everyone's aspirations and ambitions are.
Yeah, but is it though? Because people keep saying that, oh, it's going to be expensive. Fucking Sufal costs $5 million.
Yeah, but like, but again, if we're trying to replace Johnson with another English right back, it is going to be expensive. Obviously, if we're not, we could go down that Sufal route where we could find some Scandinavian or Brazilian right back from God knows where.
One thing I will say, I do fear for us this season at them positions, because if Sufal or Emerson goes down, we've got Cresswell or Ben Johnson there. And I just, not Sufal, Cresswell and Ben Johnson there. Yeah. Like, for me, that is just the fucking drop in ability is like, it just shows. Do you know what I'm saying?
It is a drop, but again, hopefully it's not as massive as what it would have been the past 3 seasons, because now that we don't have Europe, I feel like we can kind of get away with having a thinnish squad again, if that makes sense. Like, because we only have to focus on the league. The only time a thin squad wouldn't come in handy is if is the League Cup, FA Cup, and we're really trying to go for it. But say we do get more players, say we keep the same players because we get rid of one, replace one, we should hopefully be fine, because we're just playing in the league. But I don't know, it's a tricky one.
What do you make of Garcia?
That Alex Garcia or Alex?
Yeah.
I don't know much about him, but I did see. You know me, I'm not a huge like analytics or stats guy, but I do like looking at FBref, that website with all the percentiles of where a player stands within world football or whatever leagues you categorize, and his FBref looks incredible. It looks really, really good. But again, Edson Alvarez has looked really, really good. And I'm not saying that Edson Alvarez hasn't been good. I think he's been a good signing so far, but those don't really tell you the whole story. Like, you know how everyone was going on about how Edson Alvarez had incredible progressive passing and all that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad passer and he hasn't been good at West Ham, but he hasn't been what everyone was overhyping him to be.
He's done his job, though.
Yes,
he's done his job.
Yeah, he's done his job, but like everyone's saying, like, oh, Alvarez can spray the ball. He's your
destroyer. That's what he is. He destroys the play, passes it on,
but
and that's it.
With Alix Garcia, I think his FBref and his stats, percentiles, whatever, I think those can be a bit more. You can translate that a bit more to the Premier League because he was playing in Spain, which is a much better league than the Eredivisie. So his stats, his FBref look incredible, and
he's done well.
I don't know much. I don't know much about him. I haven't watched Girona at all this season. So again, just like Guilherme, I would have to go watch some highlights or whatever. But it's promising, and again, it could prove to be a bargain, and that's what Steidten's here to do. He's here to find unknown talent or get good players for a good price, and hopefully that will help us, and I hope it does.
Let's talk about Timothy Steidten, because he's been good. I see it on Twitter. I do. I have to laugh. Yeah,
Super Timmy Steidten.
I need that gentleman Jack Daniels here to get fucking at me nut, because like you say something about Tim Steidten, and you get criticised for it. What do you make of him? Like, obviously, he's got a job to do. Yeah. Big summer. What are you saying about Tim Steidten, mate?
I'm kind of in the same boat as you, where.
Great.
I like the idea of him. I like that he's here because I think he's someone that knows ball. He knows what he's doing, but at the same time, he hasn't really done a whole lot. But he's getting credit, and people are praising him like over the moon for things that he hasn't done. So for me, again, like I said, I'm in kind of like the same situation as you, where yes, it's his job. If he does do something remarkable, I'm going to give him credit, but I don't know. I don't know. It reminds me of a certain something that happened last season with a certain manager. But again, it is what it is. People have their opinions. If they want to back Steidten to the hill, they can do so. But he's a technical director. Like, he's not a manager. He's not this and that. He's a technical director. I want him to do his job. I want him to scout. And at the end of the day, he really shouldn't be blamed for some things, because at the end of the day, there's one person that signs the checks, and it's Sullivan. So really, his job, find players, scout players, and hopefully get them for a good price.
I want to comment on this, because people keep saying about the Leverkusen team. It wasn't just him. Yeah. It was at Simon Rolfs or Wolfs or whatever.
It wasn't entirely him. I think it's because of his job title.
Yeah,
it gets put together, but I mean, he was part of that, and what he did, being part of that, was incredible, invincible.
Yeah,
so
listen,
he deserves credit for that, but he's not the lone gunman of that rebuild.
Listen, right. Fucking praise him as much as I like for the Leverkusen job. He's at West Ham now. Like, I want to see what he does for West Ham United, not fucking buy Leverkusen.
And this is another thing as well that I want people to, especially people on Twitter, to understand and stop having these meltdowns. The window is not even open yet. So like until the window is open, I'm not going to complain about a player not coming in, because I don't think they're even legally allowed to be signed.
The only thing I will say to that, just to counter that, because I am guilty of that, man's guilty, is that when you keep losing people who are not like you think he's coming, then he backs out. Another one, he backs out. Like, you are allowed in life to question why.
Yes.
not just to sit there and say, right, you shut your fucking mouth, don't say nothing about Steidten because he's the Messiah, right? At the end of the day, if we keep losing target,
It's Messiah.
Tim Sire, right? If we keep losing target after target after target, then you're gonna fucking question it. I'm sorry,
and then again, like, it's almost not even entirely on him, because his job is to find the players, try to get them for the best price possible in negotiations, and then it is on Sullivan to hand over that money, sign the checks, send the emails like he loves to do.
Or facts.
So Tim can only do so much.
Yeah, he can listen. He can only do so much, Lucas. Don't get me wrong, but like this summer's massive. Like I will say that, yeah, and I can't stress enough. And it's like I'm just not going to say nothing now. I'm just going to let people just like go get all hyped up, and then when the shit does fucking hit the fan, because it usually does at West Ham United Football Club, then I just stand back and go, "There you go. I said it." Do you know what I'm saying? For me, I agree with you. Steidten, he's got a big job on his hands. Is he finding gems from the middle of nowhere? Or are we paying a lot of money for these gems? Because something was mentioned on the space the other day, and I think it was Kane who said it. Make 100% fucking right. Like, we are paying a lot of money for these fucking gems. I'm not gonna lie. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's the price for a Brazilian. You know, we all know the price of a Brazilian. They're not cheap, but like you said, this summer is important because, especially from the supporters' perspective, because you got one half that I would concede isn't the right word, but one half of the support are expecting a transition, a bit of a rebuild, and then you have the other half, which I'm on, where I don't think we need an overhaul, a rehaul, or a total rebuild. I think we have enough, or not right now. I think we're in a position where we don't have to drain the squad and bring in 10, 8 players. That's just me personally. If we can sign 6 good quality players, and mind you, like I said, in the starting 11, I think there's 3 positions that are a must. And then if you get another 3 that can come off the bench or rotate, I think we honestly can push. And obviously, if Paqueta does not get banned for life and he plays, I think we can really push again for a conference league. I really do. But again, some people, their visions and aspirations and ideas of going into this summer are different. And for me, I think we don't need to totally rebuild or have a insane overhaul. I think we can build off what we have.
I agree with you.
It's a weird one.
I know what you're saying, but I agree with you slightly on it. But then the other side, I don't. I think West Ham need a lot of work doing. Like I think there's a lot of positions that we're fucked in, really, if I'm being honest. Antonio goes down, we've got no centre forwards. Right. When you look at our left back and right back positions, even our centre half positions to a point.
And some of that I mentioned because, like, let's mention Cresswell and Antonio. Lopetegui is someone that rates them both highly and who tried to get them when he was at Wolves. So we can't necessarily say that. And again, I'm not saying that you're saying this, but like those are 2 players that I think he envisions them both playing a fair amount this season. So, of course, I would love a new left back who's better than Cresswell, but Lopetegui rates Cresswell. Clearly, he signed an extension, and he rates Antonio, who I'm not saying obviously neither of them are going to start, but with what we've seen and what we've heard through previous years and Lopetegui trying to get them over to Wolves, they're going to be part of the plan. They're going to be part of the vision for at least this season.
See, the thing is with that,
which I don't totally agree with.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but when I look at like him trying to get Cresswell to fucking Wolves, it's because he couldn't afford anyone else.
Yeah,
he's just a cheap option.
That's fair to say. And you know again, it's hard not to try and sound hypocritical with my comments, but I just think there's some positions that people think we need a total rebrand on that I don't believe in. Because, for example, like right back. There's people saying that Sufal needs to be benched. Sufal needs to go. To me, I don't agree with that. And say if Sufal does stay and Ben Johnson stays, we don't need anything at right back, in my opinion. Those are two.
I think Safal should be the backup right back, and a new right back should be in. That's what I personally think.
Which is fair. Like,
do you know what I mean? I think when you look at him, Sufal's a sort of player that can he do it for 38 games in the Premier League season consistently? I don't think he can. I really don't.
Yeah, it's a tough one because some people, they're ready for a rebuild. They're ready for a transitional season where they don't care if we finish wherever, as long as we don't get relegated, everything's fine. But then you got the other half, which I'm on, which again, I don't know if it's a 50-50 split. There's definitely probably a bit more divisions within that ratio. But like for me, I just don't think we have to go through a transitional season or accept 14th, 15th because Lopetegui's in. Because there's people out there that said Lopetegui is better and will be better than Moyes. So to me, why would I accept 13th, 14th with Lopetegui if he's better?
There's absolutely no chance. If West Ham end up 14th, mate, I'll be fucking livid. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, because that's not the standard that we're supposed to be keeping in it. You know what I'm saying? This is it's the hypocritical nature of some people that I just find fucking sickening because they will accept 14th now. But they couldn't accept 14th 2 years ago or last year when we won a trophy. Like, it just, do you get what I'm saying? It makes no sense. Like, don't get me wrong. I want West Ham, for me, West Ham need to finish in the top 10. They have to. Like, I think that's a given. I think if you want to maintain a standard at West Ham, you don't go from David Moyes 6th, 7th, 14th, trophy, 9th, and then back to fucking 14th.
I just think with certain people's opinions, if Lopetegui is better than what we had, or clearly better, we shouldn't be accepting anything worse than 11th or 10th.
Yeah.
But again, that's not like what my prediction is. Like, if you're asking me for my prediction today, I think we finish 13th, 14th. That's just me though. And would I be upset? Me personally, I would be upset. But I would have seen it coming. So
mate, fuck always about the football and all that, right? West Ham need to finish in the top 10. And always about people say, oh, better brand of football and all this game. Yeah, I see it's quite a lot.
This is the only way we accept 14th. I'll take 16th in an FA Cup.
Yeah, but that's just when I said that last year, people go, nah, it's fucking shit. The thing is, right, when people say, oh, we're going to finish 14th or 13th and all that, you don't play good football and be a good side if you're finishing 13th or 14th in the fucking Premier League. Simple as that. Like, West Ham have to finish West Ham have to finish in the top 10. I believe that with Steidten, I think he's the right man to sort of steer us into the future. It's going to be interesting to see who he picks up, right? And obviously, with the Euros and everything else that's happening, it's going to be a busy sort of next 2 months.
Yeah, and then that's why, like, I'm not trying to get on his back or troll or stuff like that because you got the Copa America, you got the Euros. Bringing in players before the window opens is tough business. It's not easy. It's just not. And whoever is able to do that either has a financial advantage or they've done a really good job in bringing that player in. And again, it's tough. The football world is tough. It's not as easy as what people think.
Do you think West Ham have got players already ready to go? To be announced.
With Steidten and knowing as much as and knowing what I know about him, I think and especially being here for the time he has been, he definitely has a list, and I think he's going through it right now. He's checking it twice.
Fucking Father Christmas.
Yes.
Senator Steidten. That's what we're going to call him one here. That's his name on E20. Senator Steidten. Fucking delivering parcels everywhere, mate. You know what I'm saying? Lucas, anything else you want to discuss? Anything on your mind that you've want to let off?
The only thing on my mind is my Croatia kit coming in. I'm hoping Croatia send Modric out on a good final tournament and Vitrini. Hail Croatia. Yeah. I hope for just one final decent run. I'm not asking for anything big, but I would love a quarterfinal would be really nice. But I'm excited for the Euros. I'm excited to see how things pan out. I'm ready to. I love the Euros. I love the World Cup. I love international football. It's just it's a fun time. I'll be in DC for Croatia Spain because for some odd reason that is like the only decent match on a Saturday in America because the matches here you've got 3 a day obviously when they're going. You got 9 a.m., noon, and then 3 p.m. Like I'm not going to the boozer at 9 a.m. and
you be
like
slush by 11.
The noon and 3 p.m. kickoffs here. Croatia Spain is like the only good one. All the rest are like I'm not watching Italy Albania at 3 p.m. or I'm not going to the boozer for that.
I'll tell you what, I'll do a fucking watch along, mate. I'll be like, yeah, let's watch Italy versus Albania and see what talent there is. You know
I hope Croatia do it because this is probably our last time having a pretty good squad for a while. We've got some good talent coming up, but we're gonna be losing Modric, possibly Brozovic as well. Kovacic will probably play another World Cup and Euros, but we're just hoping some of the young talent coming through can fill the void. I mean, it's going to be tough because Luka Modric is one of the greatest of all time, but just hoping Croatia do me proud. And then obviously Copa America, the U.S. and all the CONCACAF nations are in this season, Jamaica, Canada, USA. So hopeful for a good Euros from Croatia and a good Copa America from the USA.
I'm going to be honest, yeah, before I sorted this video out, in my my missus' family, we've all done a sweepstake and it's like 4 teams each. Mate, I got paired with like 4 fucking teams. Shit. Yeah, I mean, I got Poland, Turkey, Holland, and Denmark. So I can safely say that I ain't winning fuck all. That's what I'll be saying. Do you know what I'm saying? But
Jack, Vlasic is still about. He is injured. He is injured right now. We don't know if he's going to make the squad or not, but hopefully he does. He's not. I actually rate Vlasic on an international stage, but obviously everything else is an opinion and to be discussed further. And have I missed something? Lucas is Croatian. I am Croatian, not like 50%, but
he's a Balkan bastard. That's what he's.
I would say I haven't done like a DNA test or stuff like that, but my last name is Croatian, so I'm assuming that being Croatian is the highest percentage of me, besides being a red, white, and blue, free-flying eagle of an American.
Oh, no, mate. I know. Lucas, been an absolute pleasure, mate. Me and you rolling this out. Anyone else who wants to get involved in the future, give me a DM. Jump on the after hours with me and Lucas, mate. All right, come on, if you say, talk about West Ham, life, everything. I did see a video earlier on. I did put it on my Twitter. I think Rob's still in the chat. My missus showed me this video earlier, Lucas. Yeah, duck sauce music video, right? And it's, trust me, just go and watch it. Is it something about the wolf or something? Just look at my fucking Twitter. That's what I'm going to say. It's on there. Go and look at it. It will disturb you for the rest of your evening or night, wherever you are. Special like on the video. Subscribe to E20 Zone TV if you want to. If you don't, I fucking love you. And he does too. We will be back next week. It's the weekend. You know what I mean? Nothing's happening. England's playing tomorrow. No Brazilians are coming to East London.
Who do England play tomorrow in a friendly?
Iceland.
Oh, that should be fun.
Yeah, fucking hell, man. Can't wait to watch England. They were fucking shit the other day. I'm not even going to lie.
Terrible first half.
Mate, and fucking Concert, the bastard, mate, cost me money, yeah? I had Bowen to score any time.
Cost us happiness.
And then the prick just clears the ball.
Disgusting.
Off the fucking line and then allows Kane to score. Mate, I felt like frying my fucking remote control straight through the TV, mate. Honestly, I was livid. I was like, I am got to be the most cursed geezer, mate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even get Bowen to score any time, and then I've got the geezer clearing it off the line who played in his fucking team. So, you know, is what it is. Yeah, special like on the video. Subscribe to E20 Zone TV. Me and Lucas will be back next week. Any final words, Lucas, before we say bon voyage?
up the Bastard Irons. Let's have a great summer. Let's try to stay optimistic. Let's not go at anyone's throats. But if you choose to do so, all the power to you. It will not affect me or my personal life. I will do me. Is what it is.
If you go for me throat, I'm coming. Ready-made, armoured up. It is what it is. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Have a good weekend wherever you are, and I will see you again in the next one. Bosh.
Level up. Get set, level up.